What's up everyone and welcome to the club. Today I'll show you step by step on how to build out a basic sketch of an African elephant. If you're a beginner artist and you're looking for techniques to improve your drawings, then this is the tutorial for you. This is the exact technique that I used for years to improve my drawings. Now I always want to begin by blocking out the basic shape and proportions of our drawing. I'm using this 0.7mm mechanical pencil, but you're welcome to use whatever you like. Let's start at the very top of our page and sketch a line going across from left to right. So we're just using these short lines, going all the way across the top. Now we're going to define the body as a large rectangle over on the right side. So let's start from this line. It's going to come straight down towards the bottom of our rectangle. Let's go all the way towards the right side, draw that same length line, and we'll close off the bottom of our rectangle with another straight line. Now that we define the size of the body, let's move over towards the head. Starting from this point, we're just going to slope the head, coming down and across. And then from here, it's going to add a curl for the snout, going out, rounding out the nose, and then pulling that back in. Now I want to draw that same angled line just up above the tip of the nose to the bottom of the head, going up. Let's go back up to the top of the head. It's going to angle the ear, coming down and then out towards the right. And then we're going to curve this down and in towards this corner. I'm just going to cross over that corner. Let's connect the bottom to the top with a curve. We're going to go up and then bend that out towards the right. You're going to start to recognize our elephant just from these basic shapes that we've created. Now I'm going to move down from the body all the way down to right about here. Let's sketch a line going across the bottom. Now this will be for the ground, going across. This will also help define the length of the legs. Let's start blocking out the front legs first. Let's go to the bottom left corner of our rectangle and angle the front leg coming down and out towards the left. Now we're going to move in, draw that same angled line for the inside of the leg. We're going to straighten the back leg, so we're going to extend this line coming all the way down towards the bottom. Step in, draw another line coming in. Now the hind legs are going to come in towards each other. So let's start from this line, step in, angle this down and out towards the right. Step in, we want to draw that same thickness of leg. Just going to draw on top, coming down. Let's go to the top of the back leg. Just going to angle this down and then in. Step in and draw that again. Now in just a few minutes, we just captured the basic shape of our elephant. Now all we need to do is start chiseling this out and just refining the shape. Let's start with the snout. We're going to start up here, step in. Just want to trace the nose coming down. And we just want to taper this so it gets narrower as you come back in. And just flatten off the top. Now from this point, we're just going to angle this up towards the eye to right about there. And sketch a small circle. Let's continue this line out towards the first tusk. We're just going to curve this out and just taper that back in so it gets thicker as we come back in towards the head. And then we're going to place that same tusk in behind, coming down from the tip of the nose and back in towards the head. Let's start modifying the shape. We're going to start with the top of the head. It's going to take out the sharp point, going up and then in. Just adding a couple bumps across the top of the back. Now it's going to slope this down, coming down towards the top of a rectangle right in the middle. Curve the back going up. Round this out. Now it's going to slope the back, coming down and then out towards the right. Let's go back to the tusk. We're going to add a fold, going across and then down. Pull this up and then in, just aiming towards the eye. Now just underneath the tusk, let's add the mouth. We're going to come down, bend this in, and then up underneath the ear. Let's go back to the eye. We're just going to add a little bit of shape. We're going to go up and then out, go back to the front, come across, and then up, almost like the shape of a leaf. And then we're going to add some shape to the ear. Let's start from the top. Just going to bend this around and then down. Come down, bend that in. Add another curve coming towards the front, going up, in, and then we'll bend that up. Now let's start working at the legs. We're gonna start from the top front. I'm just gonna bend this out and then down towards the bottom. Now from the bottom on the inside, I'm just gonna taper it so it gets a little bit thicker as we come up. I'm just gonna pull this up towards the ear. Let's draw in the belly. We're gonna start right here, curve the belly coming down, and then we're just gonna bend that up towards the hind leg. Let's add a bit of thickness to the top of the leg. Come down and in, round out the leg, and then come out. Let's go back to the right side of the body. We're going to curve the tail, going out, come down and then in, go back up to the top. Just going to draw the back, coming around towards the top of the leg and in, go out and then down. Let's add some shape to the hind legs. We're going to start from the top. We're just going to give a slight bend, coming down towards the bottom, this in and then down. And then also the right leg. Just curving the top, bend this down towards the bottom. Now if you take a quick step back, you can see that we have a pretty good representation of our elephant. Let's go back and clean this up by erasing some of these guidelines. Now that we have our clean rough sketch, we're going to go back and start adding some more detail and refine the shape. Now I always like to start with the eyes. Start by adding the eyelid coming across the bottom, just darken up the inside of the eye, and then just working our way around from the eye, just adding these wrinkles and folds, starting along the top and then the bottom. Now from the eye, we're just going to work our way across the bottom edge of the tusk, just darkening this up, adding that fold, going over the top of the tusk, and add some wrinkles across the top, just coming in, just following that guideline that we created. And we'll darken up that tusk on the outside. I'm just going to add a few bumps along the outside edge of the head. And at this stage, it's all just a matter of just modifying the shape, just using the rough sketch as a guide. So I'm just going to work our way up towards the top of the head. And then go back and just work our way across the bottom. And you can get as detailed as you like. I'm just going to keep this a little bit rough for today's lesson. And with the ear, we're going to add some folds. I'm just adding some more folds and wrinkles around the ear, on the inside, and the head. Let's add a little fold on the inside of the ear. I'm just going to add a little bit of a wave across the bottom of the ear, and a few little open gaps, some tears. And then working our way up towards the top. Now here I'm going to add a fold. So just going to pull that line coming up, step up, go around that fold, and up towards the top. And then from here, I just want to go back and just work on that front leg. Work our way down towards the ankle. Now there's some wrinkles across the ankle, so we're just going to pull these in, going across, and then just widen the foot across the bottom. Let's go back up to the top, just add that fold. Now right here, we're going to add a fold across the knee joint, adding a few wrinkles going up and around, and down towards the bottom. Now we're going to add a little bit of thickness to the tail. So we're going to start along the top, then just tuck the body in on top. And go back and just trace out the tail. Now the tail gets a little bit wider along the top, so we're just going to thicken that up along the inside, coming down towards the tip. Now across the bottom, we're just going to add a little bit of grass texture, starting along this line, just pulling these lines going up across towards the left and right, just overlapping the base of the feet. So you just start with a rough treatment first, and come back and add more detail after. Now I want to go back and draw the back ear in behind. I'm just going to trace out the contour first, and then I'm going to put this into silhouette. So I'm just going to darken that up. And now we're going to use the side edge of our pencil to add some shadows. So we start with the mouth area, just underneath that tusk, and then fade that across. Just going to darken up the bottom area of the body, just to get some shape. Now you don't need to get too heavy with these shadows. We're going to start with the base layer first, and then add details on top after. So start with the tusk, going around. We'll darken up the tip. Now we're just going to add some shadows across the tip and outside of the ear. I'm just going to pull that shadow in and up. I'm just going to add some shadows along the inside for some folds. And we'll work our way across the back of the front leg. So just pushing that shadow towards the right. And the ear is also going to cast a shadow across the top of the leg. Let's darken up the tail, a little bit darker across the tip, and work our way across the back. Now once we're done our shading, we're going to go back and just overlay some detail on top. So we start with those wrinkles across the trunk, starting across the front edge, and then from the back. I can add a little bit of cross-hatching detail just to get the scales of the skin. You're just going to place these in those highlight areas. Let's add some taller grass on top of the legs, just to give this some depth. I'll finish off with a little bit more detail, and always be sure to sign our artwork. And that's pretty much it. There's a basic sketch illustration of an African elephant. I hope you enjoyed today's beginner tutorial, and if you did, please make sure you subscribe because I'm posting new lessons every single week. Make sure you smash that like button and leave your requests in the comments below. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.